Okay, this has dried out for about 5 minutes. During that time, I did flip them one time, and now the difference between how loose they were before is that these will stand up. They'll hold their own weight instead of flipping over. So this is called a hard slab. And it's still very moist and very soft, but it's strong enough that it holds itself up. Now I'm going to need a bottom for my box, and I'm going to put my name on the bottom of the box before beginning. So I'm going to use a tool or a paper clip, and I'm going to carve my name pretty neatly into the bottom of my box before beginning. I want it to be nice enough that I can see it, and then I'll rub away any little loose pieces of clay. And then I'm going to actually flip that over. That's going to be the bottom of my box. I'm going to have 2 sides to this box, like this, and I'm going to have 2 ends to the box, like this. I'm going to put these together using score, slip, smear. So I've got my side that is the scales right here. And I'm going to be putting it next to this side here. And I can build on top or on the side, wherever it fits best. As you use these, they do stretch and change shape a little bit. I'm going to put this one right on the outside edge. And using a tool or a paper clip, I'm going to score the edge, and I'm going to score the edge of the bottom. That loosens up the clay, makes it easier to join together. And then I'm going to take some of my slip, and I'm going to generously put slip along one edge. I should cover all of the score lines. And then I'm going to put my piece up next to it, kind of firmly push it on there. Now it's still going to be pretty delicate, even though it's a firm slab, but it'll kind of hold by itself. You can see it's sort of holding up there. And I'm going to begin to use my finger, or I can use a tool to begin to smooth out that line in there. And then I'm going to get a little extra clay, not very much. I'm going to just move this back a little bit. And I'm going to roll out a very, very skinny coil, a very skinny coil. There's hardly anything to this. So a nice skinny coil. And I'm going to put that on my seam. And I'm going to, first off, press it into my seam. And I've got a lot of extra coil on here. Just cut off those little edges. And then I'm going to smooth and smear it in using my fingers or any type of tool. And this is where I'm going to really, really make sure that seam is smoothed in. I don't want any of the lines of the seam to show. So I'm really just pushing it in there. And then I'm going to use whatever tool or my fingers to just smooth that in so I get rid of all evidence that that was 2 pieces of clay. Now it looks like 1 piece. I might look at the outside edge too, and I'll say, well, that shows there as well. So I'm going to take my tool, kind of pull that edge together, and still see a little of the slip coming out, smooth it out, and sometimes you even need another little coil on the outside edge. When I add my next side, so that's going to go right here. It happens to be the ones that I put the feathers on. I'm going to score 2 edges. So I'm going to score along this edge and along this edge, along this edge, and along this edge, because I'm putting 2 parts together. Then I'm going to add slip to it, and again I have to put enough slip on here. You can be generous with slip. Slip is the stuff that we like to call clay glue. It gets the clay to join. You've just scored it up and made it rough, and now you're going to put this on so it gets into all the joints. Put that piece on there, kind of firmly press it in. Kind of rub it a little bit with your finger or even a tool if your finger doesn't fit in there. And then again, I'm going to take a little bit of clay and I'm going to roll out a very, very skinny coil. There's not hardly anything to this coil. You don't need a real thick one. And I will lay that coil along the bottom edge, and I will lay the other coil along the corner. And I will, again, press them in and then use my tool and my fingers to make those seams disappear, and eventually turning to the outside of the box and making sure the outside edge seam is sealed as well. I will continue with the other two sides.